Howdy, folks. This video is from a show I recently did on Cameron Bertuzzi's channel, Capturing Christianity. If you like it, do all the YouTube things to let YouTube know to show the video to others. Be sure to like, comment, and share the video. And I am trying to grow my channel, so be sure and subscribe and hit the bell notification. Don't forget to check out Capturing Christianity and support the work that Cameron is doing there. Hope you enjoy this.
Katarina says, what about people seeing Hindu gods or talking to Allah in NDEs? There was an NDE where a woman wanted to stay in the love and light, but Jesus forced her to go back to earth.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull up real quick the name of a particular book I want to recommend. I mentioned it earlier. Okay, the book is called Is Christianity Compatible with Deathbed and Near-Death Experiences? It's by J. Stephen Miller, and it's the most thorough resource I know on this topic. Miller is the researcher I mentioned earlier who specifically looked into what do people see in terms of religious figures, and he found the overwhelming majority of reports of religious figures were either God or an angel of God or Jesus, and things reporting non-Christian gods were a distinct minority. They were outliers, even in countries where even in countries where Christianity is not the norm. So, for example, in your question, you say, well, what about Allah? Well, Allah is just the Arabic word for God. That's all it means. Allah is not a different God. Allah is God. That is how Arabic-speaking Christians talk about God. So, you know, if an Arabic speaker says, I talk to Allah, I'd say, oh, well, tell me what he had to say. When it comes to interaction with other elements of religious content, it's true that what people see in the afterlife, at least in their beginning experience of it, because as I mentioned, there's a transition period that even Jesus talks about. It is, you don't immediately get a download of everything in the universe to know. And so people are going to naturally read their early moments in the afterlife in terms of what they're already familiar with. So, for example, sometimes people report in NDEs and in deathbed visions, to go back to those for a minute, they report angels coming and taking them to the afterlife, or, I'm here to take you to the afterlife. Even if they're on their deathbed, they're not dead yet. Here in the West, we refer to these as angels, which is a term that means messenger in Greek, and it's basically a job description. They come with a message for human beings from God, from a Jewish and Christian and Muslim perspective. In India, where research has been done on deathbed visions, the personification of death is known as Yama. And so they refer, when they'll say, oh, I've got this non-human spirit here who's saying he's come to take me into the afterlife, they call them Yamduts, meaning messengers of death. And so it looks like we've got the same basic experience happening. They're seeing a non-human spirit, someone they don't know, who says, hi, I'm here to take you to the afterlife. In the West, we call them angels. In India, where they personify death as Yama, they call them Yamduts. But it's the same basic phenomenon. It's a spirit. It's not of a loved one. They also, in India, report loved ones coming to welcome you into the afterlife. And we report that in the West, but it looks like in the same country, in these very different countries, we have the same basic phenomena happening. You have in a deathbed vision or in an NDE, you get welcomed by a loved one or a set of loved ones, or you get welcomed by a non-human spirit that you don't know. We're just applying different names to these in the different cultures, but they seem to be the same underlying experience. But if you'd like to read more about the compatibility of deathbed visions and NDEs with Christianity, or at least one Christian perspective on this, check out J. Steve Miller's book, Is Christianity Compatible with Deathbed and Near-Death Experiences? And before we go, just a reminder to do all those great YouTube things. You can help my channel grow by liking, commenting, and sharing the video. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you always get notified when I have a new video. These days, I have multiple videos coming out every week. Thanks so much, and God bless you.